So you're wondering what the beef is all about? KROMER said he could beat him. Bob took that personally. Is that a bad thing? I don't think so. Because our main event is so historic today. Bob Dole is facing against KROMER. Fine lads, British lads. I do them the honor of performing their national anthem. The beef set is here, the final match of the evening. The grand finale. Your first to 7 winner will be decided here in this moment in time. Bob Dole ain't gonna take no slack from nobody. No smack talk, no nothing. KROMER, not scared of a challenge. Says my noob is feeling it. We'll see who ends up getting the dub here. That cameo call out immediately, and I think he's going to be feeling the pressure so much here. If Bob does not plan on letting off the gas pedal for 1 second in time, he wants to make sure that he can do it. Kicking him forward, the Sonya ring charge is on the approach. Patiently waiting, though. He's going to try to scrub him out, not allow him to get in. On the teleport, he is going so good into this. Not taking a scathe just yet. 100 HP left. Another strike from down below. And Bob Dole swiftly takes this first round. KROMER tried getting him out in neutral, but just jumping right above him. You gotta avoid the rockets, isn't it? Rockets are coming out from above. He goes for him. Another big check, kicking him out full screen. Dole on the approach. Ends up getting him, knocking him down, getting the breaker right there. And it's close. Rockets are there. KROMER tries to teleport again. That is the 5th time he's attempted to do it. Just not seeing the light of day yet. Bob Dole not dropping for a second here. The rings are following through. 170 health left for KROMER. Low check confirms into Sonya. Bob Dole striking first on here with a brutality as well. Making sure he is not misunderstood in this matchup. Next matchup here, that was a swift victory for KROMER. If that's going to spell disaster for the rest of it, immediately switching over to Reptile, though. It's an interesting pick. This matchup is definitely not in the favor of Reptile. You got to be able to close in the gaps quickly. So maybe if he can utilize that run a little bit and get himself openings. Otherwise, it's going to be a tough one. Load up the gun, ready to go in the Tarkatan colony we go. Good strike out from Bob. Neutral ducks immediately. Find a room to punish. Building up in the corner. He stacks up the damage. Goes straight up into it. KROMER feels the onion rings. Ain't gonna stop. Waits back a second. Waits back a second. Gets caught with the back cameo. 380 HP. Terrible. This is a matchup that is not made for Reptile at all. This is definitely Reptile's worst one. The only thing Reptile can really do is run, and I mean, you can armor, but you cannot keep your bar and play sector. It is just not humanly possible to have that kind of patience. The overhead low check immediately getting him leaning. Kicks him down. First round going out to him. Stacking up this lead, and he plans to make this a 7-0 if he has anything to do about it. KROMER building up a little bit. Good strike into him. Low check, not catching him leaning at all either. Getting a little bit of movement here. He tries to create something, but Bob Dole just not able to give him an inch because he's going to take a foot. He goes immediately for the grip up in the corner. RKO coming in now. Building this one up. Pops him through with a breaker. Projectiles are still coming. Back cameo called out now. Getting the blender activated. Goes in for the grab. Tech's out of it. Nicely done from Bob. Get the ring charge up in there now. On the jump in, gets him smacked down to the ground. 250 HP taken away. And he's just going to float away. Not have to worry about that trap at all. Good movement from Bob on the jump in attack. Of course, with this bar, this definitely should spell disaster. And without a doubt, Bob Dole finishing the job in brutal fashion, too. Takes this lead one step closer. 2-0. And what might actually be Reptile's the worst matchup, I would say. I thought he was going to beat me with Reptile. Well, you tell me what happened there, buddy. It's carried Dole. It's carried Bob Dole here. What are you going to do? He's up 2-0 right now. He's starting to run with the lead. This is probably Reptile's worst matchup. If you don't go to a Reptile sub or something like that, you got to think of what won't do the mind of KROMER right now, facing a brick wall. He's just pressing buttons. Round 1 kicking off. Game number 3. See if Bob can extend the lead right now. Waiting for him. The ring charge right as he walks up. KROMER waiting a little bit more this time. A little bit of projectile game coming out. The Rockets are still going through. Not able to get anything off that dive right there from Reptile. Kicks him up for 285 damage and some more. Bob on the wake up. Get the ring charge. Make that move safe. Go straight in for it. More pressure. Flawless blocks the down one out of all moves. Down 2 not going to land either. Bob stacking up the chips. One step further. Overhead smacks him down. Takes the first round of game number 3. Running with it. So he goes into game number 2. Got the projectile game, more pressure up. That ball will expire though, and Bob back on the offense though, zoning him out. Forcing him to get impatient, really forcing a Reptile when you just sit there and have to block, slowly approach. Just waiting for that last roll and then trying to use the trap to cover up the punish right there from Bob, but just a little bit slow in the draw. Ends up getting on the receiving end. Bob Dole feeding on the corner. Stacking this one up. It's looking grim. He gets a big strike right there. Overhead landed. Pops him down. And Bob sealing out another game for himself swiftly with a brutality binder. Goes up 3-0 on the set. And KROMER, who said he was going to take him down with that noob, drops the first game, the second, the third. Wonder if he's going to hold back to his old roots. See if he can get anything off that noob sidebot piece. Back into it 3-0. We will see who ends up taking the first of 7. Bob with a mean lead right now. Plans to make it a true 7-0. KROMER thinking about it. Pushing back over to the noob piece is going to be the move here. Movado again as well. See what he can come up with here. But I definitely think this matchup is way better. Way better for this. He wants the reverse, trust. Yep. He wants the 7-6 reverse sweep. Imminent. Telling y'all it's going to be the truth. That is what's going to happen. You guys got to get excited. We got to see if KROMER can pull it together. Down right now, but not out. And he just unplugged this controller. I don't know what's happening. Is he okay? Controller problems. What, the user or the hardware? I mean, I don't... He went to piss? Look how respectful Bob is being. What a dirty move! That was just... That was foul! That was just foul! My God, man, that was just not cool! You cannot do that, man! That was an honor move he did. He just came out swinging. That is not cool right there. You want to talk about people? That's a bitch slap right there. KROMER with the heartbreak. The heartbreak right there. You thought he was cool. That was a fucking outplay of the century. Mind game right there. The tech I have never seen before. KROMER. Bob Dole taking none of it. Bob Dole taking none of it. He says, I'm not playing these games with you, buddy. With the Black Redgrave tactic, he tried to get him, but it's just not going to happen there. you're going to have to head to the Mindset channel with this L right here. It is popping up. Even more and more damage going over to Bob Dole. Just dealing it out. Good check here. 220 HP down. On the advance with the knee. Pops him down. Gets more and more damage stacking up to the top, and another brutal for Bob Dole. But I'll tell you what, if KROMER did not just pull off the dirtiest move I have ever seen somebody do in bracket, that was not fair. You're going to send him back. You're going to send him back in his seat, guessing what's going to happen next with that one. That was just not cool, man. 4-0 lead. He's running with it.
Sector. Reptile. Zonia Blade.
4-0 lead for Bob Dole. Back to Reptile he goes. I'll take the losing matchup.
Are you prepared, Sector?
If I was KROMER, I would go over to Sub-Zero in this, just to avoid the damn projectiles. I'd take my chances in neutral. But I cannot deal with getting scrubbed out with rockets. Look at all those projectiles just coming down his way. Bob really doesn't have to approach at all. He just has to stay full screen and zone. And there's nothing Reptile can do. Pops him down. This is just mean. Good dash in. Little sweep on the return. Back three gonna land? Nuh-uh. Bob with the defenses up. The rings are charging. Gets him moved in right there. 96 get armored immediately. Going right through him.
Round two. Fight.
Back cameo, called him in. Look at KROMER getting some damage in now. Going in, he's starting to feed a little bit. One move at a time. Closing in the distance, he goes in with the roll. No armor to back him up though. Sonya in with the approach from Bob. Bob is saying, all right, you want to go? You want to get mixed? I too can play at that game. We don't even have to zone you, bud. Good back cameo call from KROMER. Waking up a little bit here. A little low poke. He's starting to feast. Staggers out a couple hits right here. Down check. Look at him move right now. KROMER showing signs of life. Bob goes right back to the golden tactic. Going straight to him with the roll, but not enough distance to get it. KROMER. Rings are following. Hellfire raining though from Bob Dole's hands. RKO comes in and finishes the job. 5 wins in a row for Bob Dole here. He's running with it against the #1 EU Reptile. Just so you guys know, our predictions were 100% in the favor of KROMER. $1.6 thousand, $2.8 thousand was bet on KROMER. Nobody bet on Bob Dole. A true underdog prevailing in this situation. Nobody would have thought that this happened.
Round one. Fight.
The Bob Dole return here. Dark greatness. He said, you guys count me out. You don't put your geo bits on me. It's over, bud. Good down to into the trap he goes. Back with an overhead landed. Good overhead landed, smacks him up, 135 HP, left for Reptile. Going in with the slow force ball approach, trying to chip him out just a little bit, but you got a lot of health to overcome here, and he's flawlessing it. No problem at all. Zoning him out. Trying to test his patience, seeing what the move is here. Bob just flawless in it, not worried at all. It's kind of a test of swagger here at this point. Good roll right there, closing in the distance. On the dash and little low poke. Goes straight in with another grab. Charged up, ready to go. He ain't stopping. Little low poke. Careful about it. 75 HP to go for Bob. Just needs to get rid of that last bit. Gets him with the Sonya mix at the end. One step closer to the 7-0. Rockets between them. KROMER advancing. Calculating his next move so carefully. Lands the back cameo charge. Bob spaces right over that force ball. Good job jumping over that for the punish. He is advancing on him. Overhead landed. Big kicks. Stacking him up to the corner. 295 HP taken away on the jump in. Good check from down below. Sonya following through as well and finishing the job one step at a time. Bob Dole, the one nobody thought was going to win this, goes up 6-0, almost able to close it out with one more game. Six to 0. KROMER facing elimination. With one more game to go, he locks in the same team we've seen before and into the Shang Tsung's laboratory for one more game.
Are you prepared, Sector?
Go Quan and zone the zoner.
Round 1. Fight.
6-0 at the moment. Overhead landed. Psych, that's a grab. We all want to see the reverse sweep, and we know it's possible. Is Bob Dole going to sell here? KROMER getting the first big move with that trap, setting up for a good little move. Oh my goodness. Bob straight up with the RKO. KROMER was a Shang Tsung creation. Unfortunate drop right there. A little too early on the 2-4. 2-3 rather. Trying to zone him out. Bob Dole 3-3 on the flawless blocks right there. No chip damage for you. Good job jumping in. Little low poke. It's close. Just jumping right over him. Another big old RKO. KROMER getting knocked down to the ground. 360 HP left. Trying to get him with the low check again. Overhead smack dab on him. Hit him with that RKO. Straight in for the grip. Another one. 80 HP left. Into the quarter you go now. Trying his best not even to zone him out right here. He's trying to just do it all with grabs. And that's 3 in a row. Starting to flex on him. KROMER on beef set point. Another grab for Bob. And we're at 5. They meet each other. He's feeling them out. Finding the right room to press. Another grab. Gets an RKO out of nowhere. Back cameo called out again. Bob. Another grab. Hits him again. Nobody is seeing this coming at all. See what he can do here. Another grab. A true underdog performing in front of the masses. Who said Sector is not a grappler? Are you seeing this right here? Waiting out for the right time. Flawless block. Another grab. RKO out of nowhere. 260 HP left. On the advancement. Trying everything he can to close the distance here. Using those force balls. He's flawlessing it. If we were to play for time, that would be it. Trying to get him moving. Another grab. But a reverse card from KROMER in spectacular fashion. Does he stay alive here? The momentum, everything falls down at this moment. He gets juked. Forces the breaker out of him. 250 HP. KROMER about to pull it off. Another grab. RKO out of nowhere. 110 HP left. 5 seconds on the clock. Another grab into that special move, using Fatal Blow as just a guarantee to solidify the GOAT right here. KROMER staying alive from beef set point.
Final round.
Absolutely outplayed from KROMER. Bob Dole needs to get a grip right here. Caught him pressing. KROMER looking sharp. Puts 370 on him. Tries to get him with the low mix on wake up. A bold dash right there. Probably a misinput. Gets him caught into the corner. The side switch. And Bob Dole setting up ready to close this one out. Keeping the corner pressure alive and well. Breaker forced out from KROMER. Big old RKO right there. 100 HP diff between them. It's close. KROMER facing a brick wall of rockets. On the jump in, Bob really trying to grab him again. KROMER says, not today, buddy. I got that Movado trap. On the jump in, almost caught him right there with the 1-1 press. Goes for the cancel. Hold back a second. Overhead landed from Sonya. Bob looking to close it out. He is right there. Tries to get a grab again. KROMER says an eye for an eye. I'm going to go out the same way on the jump and attack. Bob Dole finishes it off with a mean walk down. And that concludes the beef set. Bob Dole 7-0 victory. A true underdog prevails and takes the dub. Spectacular. And that is your beef set concluded.